Hi, I'm Matt Mills, and this is Dave Excel from Featurespace, the world leaders in adaptive behavioural analytics. Now, our customers have already seen the awesome power that this unique approach to fraud prevention can have. It's saving them tens of millions of pounds a month, not just from being able to spot new types of fraud automatically, but also from being able to improve acceptance, allow more good transactions through, and also reducing the operational overheads that come from dealing with fraud. Rather than spending too long talking about it, what we're going to do is go straight into a demo and the dashboard. So you can see this is the login page. And what Dave's going to do now is log in and give you an example set of results. So this is a European banking customer. They actually have some of the lowest fraud rates in the industry. They're doing extremely well. And they run at a false positive ratio of 10 to 1. Now, to explain that, what that means is for every one fraud they catch, they turn away 10 good transactions. The problem is the next number, which is card not present. So, and what we see globally is a move towards card not present fraud. And what that means is that you have 23 to 1. So for every one fraud they catch on an online spend, so in an e-commerce transaction, for example, they decline 23. And there are two problems with this. First of all, what happens is you really annoy the customer. But the second thing is that card generally goes back of wallet, or a different card is then used with that e-commerce merchant. The challenge with this is you then end up in a situation where your card doesn't get used as often. So some of our customers see a 7 to 14% decline in card usage from a falsely declined online transaction. A few other things to show. So on the right-hand side, you've got the number of daily false positives. It's a bit lumpy. And what we're going to do now is just Dave's going to click on ABA and show you what happens when they used R-score instead. So what happens is we take the false positives out completely. So we reduce them down by about 80%. Online, card not present transactions go from 23 to 1 down to 6 to 1. Overall, it goes down to 3 to 1. And we also knock about 40% of the fraud losses out as well. We spot the new types of fraud attacks automatically, and also we have a much flatter line for the number of daily false positives. Now, what's great is over the last couple of years, our customers have come to us and said, well, we don't want to use this just for transactional fraud. Actually, we want to use it for other things as well. So we have customers now using the same system for application fraud. We have them using it for insider fraud. We have a couple of customers, or 3 customers here in the UK, actually using it to spot people who have a gambling addiction. And that's what's great, is the platform works really well in banking, but we also have customers in insurance, merchants, and gambling customers as well. The next iteration of what's happened is our customers have said, well, we've started using your technology like a fraud hub, the sort of single point within the organization for all risk-related activities. But we'd love to be able to run some of our own models, our own rules inside the engine. And so they came to us and said, how can you help us do this while still maintaining exceptionally high acceptance rates? And what Dave's going to do now is show you a sandbox replay, which is something that we're launching today, which allows our customers to do just that, but still maintain those high acceptance rates.
So as Matt has just mentioned, our customers have asked us for the ability to be able to modify and, most importantly, test new configuration and modifications within Featurespace's ARIC Fraud Hub. And most importantly, being able to do this quickly, easily, and securely. So today, we're announcing a new feature which enables customers to modify the inputs into our behavioral models and also to update the business rules which are defined and within the platform. And most importantly, then they're able to visualize the impact of those changes on historic data before they actually go and impact live customer transactions. So to be able to demonstrate this feature to you today, I'm going to go through a scenario that one of our fraud teams came to us that we support. What they've found is after we've identified a new fraud attack which is taking place within their platform, they then identify a series of other accounts which are related via links that they also want to shut down and close. And this is a very manual process that they need to go through and do. So we're going to change the system to be able to do this automatically for them. So what we're going to do within the platform is we're going to go through to our sandbox feature, and we're going to create a new sandbox. And we're going to call this closed links. So this is where we're going to go through and change the configuration within the platform. So we've submitted this. We've created our new sandbox environment. Now, when we open this up, we've got the ability to adjust all the configuration within the system. So what we're going to do to solve this particular problem is define a new business rule. So I'm going to click on here, and we're going to create the business rule for our customer accounts. Now I'm going to paste in the logic for this rule, which is essentially saying, if we look at all the links associated with an account, let's take those accounts which are closed, and if we see 3 or more of those accounts, then we want to perform the action to close. So I'm now going to save this rule, and what the system is going to go and do is look at the historic data and see what would have happened if this rule was live. So now let's go and see what would have happened. So going back to this page, we can now see the impact. And most importantly, this rule has changed and had the desired impact. We can see the high-scoring accounts here have been reduced because our rule has automatically shut down these accounts and stopped that fraud from taking place. We can also see the number of incidents which would have gone into our fraud team's queues has been reduced, saving several thousand hours of work from them to go through and manually do those adjustments. Now, most importantly, what we want to be able to do is make this change into our production environment so we can get benefit from it straight away. But we don't want to be able to do this in an insecure way. So what I can do is I can promote this change, and an approval request will be sent to my colleague where he can view the modifications, make the approval, and then the change will be live within the platform.
Thank you. So what we've shown today is how our customers are able to use this amazing technology to get the highest acceptance rates in the industry, to be able to get the lowest fraud rates in the industry, but crucially now also have the flexibility to be able to input their own models, their own scorecards, their own rules, and do pretty much anything they like in the technology, but have that confidence that they can immediately see the impact of any change they make to ensure they maintain those highest acceptance rates in their industry. So thank you so much for your time today. We won't get in the way of the coffee and the cakes any longer. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.